At the outset, I was primarily interested by an idea Robert Adams gave me. Art reveals beauty by revealing form. I wondered if the photograph of a dead pelican can be considered beautiful because it quote, records accurately a mystery at the end of every terror, the survival of form, end quote. Could a photograph that simplifies the image of, say, a human corpse into a documentation of form be considered beautiful? I wanted to experiment with separating form from subject, to see the content of the photograph as a two-dimensional representation of reflected light that it really is. Mostly, though, I think I secretly knew it would be much safer to examine Adams's question about whether or not beauty, particularly the beauty of form, can, quote, make suffering tolerable, if this separation could be achieved. I hypothesized that simply seeing the coherence in the form of suffering could be a consolation for life's pain, in which case a gruesome photograph could be called beautiful. Celebrate the lines and shapes of pain. If blues music can turn suffering into celebrations of form, the wonder of the spaces and pauses between notes, then maybe so could photography. William Gedney photographed a family, the Cornets, living in poverty, so I began to explore his images. I knew immediately I had chosen the wrong photographer. Gedney's images of suffering could already be called formally beautiful without much help from my theories, but the greater beauty in them seemed irrevocably tied to his subjects themselves and his relationships with them. Gedney, in the Cornets, found human subjects devoid of vanity, eyes and bodies that do not necessarily give in to the power of the camera, but that are simply uninterested in the outcome of the snapshot. There's no need to make a good picture of themselves if pictures and reflections in a mirror seem trivial things. If the inverse of vanity can be called grace, then these people had it. In Gedney's photographs, grace is the reassuring way a loved one's face falls when relaxed. It's a child in deep sleep. It's a hearty laugh escaping from a mouth. Gedney's photographs are about this kind of grace. In place of the struggle for control of appearance comes a kind of serenity. No wonder his pictures have a calming and quieting effect on me. A line from In Praise of Limestone, a W. H. Auden poem that Gedney transcribed in one of his notebooks, comes to mind. The blessed will not care what angle they are regarded from. Perhaps I find it difficult to sense tragedy and suffering in these images because Gedney is teaching me how to see instead the more important and distinguishing qualities of a person. A girl lounging on a dirty sidewalk, or a little one running naked in the dirt, or a woman's face creased by the lines that come with a long and almost certainly arduous life in the sun. These stop being signs of a sad life, or dirty, or poor. They are more complex than that. Through Gedney's eyes, these images might instead be about the serene grace that comes not when you give up, but when vanity has no place, function, or value in life. Alas, I had yet to even consider form. Gedney's photographs are definitely working with it. How lucky he was to stumble across the humble and comfortable sensitivities of the Cornet family. In the absence of their vanity, Gedney gets to really explore the beauty of the shape of things. A shirt comes off not in an effort to reveal a glistening, well-toned, beautiful male torso. It comes off because things get hot under the sun, because the work gets dirty and it's easier to wash dirt and grease and sweat off of bare skin. The shirts come off for the right reason for Gedney. He can take a picture not of men showing off their bodies, but of men's bodies. Here, yes, here we rediscover formal beauty. And yet still, even now, this problem of separating his subjects from their forms, it can't be helped. Even in my own attempts to talk about the form of a man's torso, the man's intentions or lack thereof, his essence of being, is what make the formal qualities of that photograph interesting and hauntingly beautiful. Gedney and ourselves owe the discovery of the beauty of form to his subjects. Gedney writes, Photographs in which there is a tremendous sense of discovery, rather than analysis of stopped time. Photography is at its best when it deals with perception with seeing and not with recollections and tranquility. Design is imposed on the photograph as a consideration from another medium. It is a hangover from the days when photographers thought of themselves as artists. The best use of design in photography flows from the discovery of the inherent design structure in reality. The best photograph is that in which form and content are deeply interrelated, where one discovers the meaning through the form and the form through the meaning. The form is inevitable given the subject. Maybe the form is inevitable given also Gedney's relationship with his subjects. He makes them beautiful, powerful. The sensuality of their bodies, the sturdy grace of their physicality. They are elevated like wily, agile, breathing versions of Greek gods by a horizontal pedestal made of gravel and dirt, perhaps longed for and revered by those eyes behind the lens that are only allowed, dare only, to look. What the body may desire, the heart may fear. Sometime in 1973, Gedney scribbled down into his notebook this passage from Rilke's Danube Elegies. Who, if I screamed, could hear me among the angelic orders? And even if one of them suddenly pressed me against his heart, I would fade in the strength of his stronger existence. For beauty is nothing but the beginning of terror that we are still just able to bear. And why we adore it is because it serenely disdains to destroy us. Alas, the angels remain out of reach. I am left to imagine the quiet and fiercely observant Gedney balancing patiently high up on a tightrope, looking out at the grandeur that threatens to swallow him up should he lean too far forward. He raises his camera to his eyes, like a mask, to hide the awe and desire and wonder with which they adore and revere. But he is calm. Must not a tightrope walker meditate and reach inner peace to keep from falling? Now, I am not much closer to answering Adam's crucial question. I only know that, totally unlike the paintings of, say, Jackson Pollock, who once exclaimed, "I am nature," and stopped looking outside of his internal mindscape for inspiration, photographs simply cannot be reduced to form and material. They are a look outward at very real things indeed.